All right, we're back from the Fast Johnny Rod and Street Glide Ride 2024 117 Motors. Badass bikes. Badass bikes, but this is the badass bike right here. This is the bike I would buy. This is the bike I like because it's now the retro bike, and those are all gone. Now everything's new. I like the capability of turning the bike off and on without killing accessories. I like the look of the bike. I like the way the bike feels, the way it sounds, and I just think it's a keeper bike because it's over. You can't buy these anymore. If I buy it, you'll have to find another dealer that has one sitting around. So anyways, I like my Fast Johnny. I didn't want to give it up, but I had to get the CVO Road Glide. Here's the irony. If we pull a deal off where I give them my CVO Road Glide and I get the Fast Johnny back, that is a Fast Johnny story. All right, everybody, stay tuned. Can we pull a deal? But that's a nice motorcycle. Nothing wrong with it, but I just like the good old boys. The good old Fast Johnnies. Riley here is saying, all right, so what made you go for that versus that? Well, this is so refined. The Harley's gotten so refined that it's a really nice motorcycle, and I just really like the retro look of the Harley, and I don't want to give that up because right now I personally don't have a retro looking Harley now. My daughter has a lowrider, but now I got the brand new CVO and I got the old CVO as well. But as far as the Street Glide's always been my favorite motorcycle. So to answer your question, I like more of that retro, but there's no doubt that's a little stiffer ride. Yeah. I mean, so as far as the better overall bike is this motorcycle here for the value, for the package. But for me, would like to keep the old school and have that in my collection. Yep. And the Fast Johnny, I think, is a really nice package. I really didn't want to give mine up. I had to. So the real question is, can we get a deal done by giving back the CVO? Well, that's a no-go. Yeah, that's a no-go. We're getting gas. We're heading home on the same bike I rode over. Yeah, if you hear that story, stay tuned for that story later. Jesus Christ. Be unbelievable. More stories to tell you. I'm back. Made it back before it got too dark. What an adventure. What an adventure. Incredible. Incredible. I mean, I just, wow. So, try to buy the Street Glide. Well, Street Glide Fast Johnny. And I really like that bike. I'm so disappointed now in so many ways that I gave that up for the year. If I ever knew that was the 2024 model, I probably would have sat it out and got that. So it's such a bummer. Here's the thing. This is a great bike. I mean, I like the motorcycle, but it's more about having two of such a similar bike. And I so like that Fast Johnny because it's the retro bike. So stay tuned on the adventures, because the adventures aren't over yet. I've got ideas, but the trade that for the Fast Johnny, that's not going to work. If you watch my morning conversations, I'll give you a lot more details what's going on. So God bless. Have a great evening.